SmileCo podcast. SmileCo is a platform to encourage and inspire creators to live their dreams and do what makes them smile. We lead by example by raising our frequency and manifesting our reality. My name is Kevin Hayashi. I'm your host. My co-host Ian Knightley.
Hey.
We have these two beautiful girls, Morgan Justice and HANNALEI Hernandez. What's up?
Hi.
Hey, what's good?
How we doing?
How y'all doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Can't complain.
It's nice for all of us, right?
Slow start, but getting it going. So I'm excited to have you girls on and learn more about you.
Thank
To
you.
really have-
I'm
Thanks for
stoked
having
to be
us.
here. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So both of you girls are in LA doing different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, way back when, but I've ventured out on my own to get out of that space, so we'll talk more on that. But so far, I'm in Georgia. She's still here.
I'm in San Diego right now. We moved out there back in, I think, 2018. We moved there together, and we had an experience, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
We definitely want to touch one.
And I really want to talk about that.
We want to
Yeah.
talk about
So
it.
real
Let's
with
talk
you
about it,
guys.
y'all.
First, how long have you girls known each other?
Oh,
5 years, going on 6.
yeah, about 6 years.
Besties.
Yeah.
Just
Ride or die.
Ride
Met,
or
we
die.
clicked. It was like that thing where you like meet someone, you're like, that's my person.
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what
That's
you
it.
are, but you're my person.
That's my
You know?
girl. That's my girl.
That's just,
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice for sure.
So yeah, I'll let Morgan, if you want to start, kind of like
Okay.
give us some info about yourself, or
Yeah. So I'm Morgan. I was born and raised Temecula, California. I ventured out across many, many different cities throughout my life. You know, different things took me different places. I started with music in high school, and I got signed with this one label, and I dropped out of high school early. It took me to Newport Beach. And from there, I started realizing, okay, so social media is what I want to do. This is kind of, the only way to make it into the music industry is really social media. And so I really took off with it. I was on The Voice for a little bit, doing my thing. And I loved it. I really did. And so I'm still doing it, but now I'm independent. I did leave that label. And, from there, I was like, I kind of want to go crazier. I want to go deeper into the social media thing. I got carried away with it. I got obsessed with it. That's where it took me to LA, as it does, with the industries. Everyone's like, you know what? LA's sounds pretty freaking good right now. And it actually ruined my career. So there's that. But yeah, so after all that, I actually moved to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I love it there. Made like a whole new reputation for myself. And I enjoy it a lot. And it's taken me in a different path. Music is always my path. It's my passion. But it took me more of like a reality. It brought me back down to earth, right? I was like, oh, okay, so this is actual life, because LA is just a whole nother world, right? So now I'm in Georgia, and I really love it. I really do. I'm with my family still, so I appreciate that. And still doing music. I work many different jobs. I work 3 jobs currently.
Jesus.
It's just constant hustle. But music is like the main thing. But yeah.
dope. Okay, well, we'll tap into. I want to hear all about how LA ruined.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, and then HANNALEI, you want to share about yourself?
I'm HANNALEI. I was born and raised San Diego girl, me. But when I was 15 years old, I wanted to get into like the modeling industry and everything, and I was always fascinated with it, I think. And then finally, like, I took the shot, I was 15. I was moved out of my house at that point, and I was going through a rough time, and I was like, I think that's what I want to pursue, and I did. I was doing it for a while, and then I met this girl, and she was like, you know what, like, let's move to LA, let's kind of do our thing. And we moved to LA. It was dope, and we went through a lot, I will say that. I think moving to LA, your career path is kind of like, okay, well, I'm out here, and I'm modeling, I'm meeting all these people, like, this is so dope and whatever. But once you're out there and you meet everyone and you kind of like realize what LA is, it's not what every girl's it's not what every girl's dream is. And I think after Morgan and I kind of decided, like, okay, we're gonna move out of LA and everything, I moved home. I came home. I went to school to be an esthetician. I still model, which is dope. I love it. But I'm excited. Like, I'm really excited to tell what I have to say about this whole thing. And, you know, there's a lot of girls that like go to LA and they have this dream to pursue, and it's not always what you think it's going to be, for sure, you know. And I don't know. I think us two together as well, like, we have a lot to say about that. And I'm very excited to talk about that.
That we do.
Eager.
We're very eager. We've never spoken on it, ever.
Yeah.
And everyone that we know has always been like, why don't you guys talk about it? You guys should have your own podcast. That's what a lot of people tell us.
Yeah.
And we're
'cause we have
like,
stories.
well, we're kind
For
of
sure.
scared. Like, I don't want to, like, you know, out anyone, so I'm not going to drop names. But, like, still, it's like, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot
you
that we
know.
went through that really changed our lives. For the, honestly, the better and the worse.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on that.
I mean, I've definitely seen you guys out there. Bumped into you a few times. I'm like,
Yeah, you
these guys are having a blast. But, you know,
We were crazy. You know, we did the damn thing, though. Like,
Oh, no,
like when it comes
100%.
to LA, you know, people are like, you guys party. No, we
No,
party.
especially I think LA back then was a lot different than
It
it
is.
is now.
pre-COVID, you know.
Yeah,
just-
like
No, pre-TikToker.
Yes.
Pre-TikTok.
Pre-TikTok,
We were the YouTube
pre-COVID.
era.
Yes.
Yes.
And that era versus this era,
Yeah.
like, let's be for real.
It
We
was
lived
on-
the era.
It was more
Like,
fun. Yeah, no, not gonna lie, because we recently went when there were like TikTokers involved, and
Yeah.
we were like, what is this? Like,
Yeah, no, it
what's
was.
going on?
Oh,
It's
it's a whole
different.
different scene,
It-
of
it
course.
is,
But it's
yeah.
kind of always been like that, I guess, because you got the Vine era, you know, where it's like all the Viners coming up and everyone, you know, in that whole
Exactly.
era.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it moved
Magcom
into...
Boys.
Yeah.
I did one of those. We'll touch on that.
Exactly. And then the Instagram era, you know, and
Yeah.
then it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, move now into the TikTok. And it's
Yeah.
so funny seeing how everything kind of progressed. And
Absolutely.
obviously
Oh, yeah.
YouTube's always been there too.
Yeah.
You always bump into the YouTubers that are
Oh,
just like,
100%.
that's...
That was my
But that's,
favorite part.
see, but that's always been the steady, you know, kind of thing. It's like, oh, the YouTubers, you know.
Ugh,
It's
like, I think YouTubers are
No,
here. I'm
it's
like,
funny.
lit, let's go.
It's funny because I feel like you'll go out to LA now and you see like a YouTuber and you're like, why haven't you moved yet? Like, you've been
Yeah.
out here for so long. Like,
Now they have.
you've aged out here.
Yeah.
Like, let's be
Yeah.
for real. I'm like, oh
Your
my
time
God.
here is over. You gotta
Come
go.
on, let's do something.
Why don't you have kids? You're 45. Right?
No, literally though. But
No, for real.
I mean,
We
LA's
had, we had fun. We had
we had a
we
lot
made
of
our mark
fun.
out there. We made an empire together, and
we did a damn thing.
people don't realize that. Like me and her, we had a niche that we created for each other, or for us
Like,
as,
yeah.
as a whole, and people ate that.
Think about it.
right?
Think about it too. Like, we're two girls from San Diego who moved up there, and you know how it is in LA. It's who you know. It's not
course.
what you are. It's who you know.
Yep.
We went out there, two San Diego girls. We both had different, you know, niches. We both did different things. We went out there, came to the point we're going out to clubs and people's houses, and they know who we are only because they've seen us, and we know the same people they know.
Yeah.
And as a girl growing up here, like, not used to any of that, especially, like, you go out there and you're like, oh my God, wait. This person, I used to watch them on YouTube.
Right.
Like, I used to,
And now
like,
they text me.
and now, literally, and now they hit me up, and it's
Yeah.
it's the weirdest thing.
It
like,
is.
It's
Yeah.
the whole dynamic of LA. I think LA as a whole is like almost like high school in a sense.
It
like
is.
you have like all these different cliques and all these
you have the
different crowds.
cheerleaders. You have
Yeah.
the crazy rich Asians. You got the
Yeah.
smart mofo's. You got the
People with money, the people
Yep.
that don't have money but they act like they have
Yep.
money. Like, let's be
Yes.
for real.
It really is a high school cafeteria. I'm not even kidding. Like that Mean Girls moment where they're like, first you have the anime kids. And it's like, it is. LA is so, as big as it is, it's very, very small.
Oh,
and
100%.
everybody knows somebody or everyone knows each other. And so if
100%.
you do one thing wrong, everyone's got to know about it. So you got to watch your back.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, you know, you could be a fish in a big pond somewhere. San Diego, it's kind of like, you know, you could become a big fish pretty quickly in you know,
Yeah.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you go to LA, at least for me, it's like going to LA was nice because it's like starting over, you know.
Yeah.
But you
That's what
build
we
all those
thought.
connections. But it's kind of cool too because you could kind of, you see where like the currency, I guess you could say, like
Yeah.
transfers over.
Yeah.
Because it could go to like to Vegas, you know, like you
Yeah.
build connections from LA into Vegas. Same thing applies for like Miami or New York or anywhere else, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I mean, that's what I've always enjoyed experience is like where your connections are in San Diego or LA or everywhere, where do they translate to anywhere else on the globe
I
too?
know.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but I mean, like Miami, everyone's kind of either you caught the Miami wave and moved there, or you
Oh, we
didn't.
did
you
that
know?
too.
Yeah, we did the Miami way. We did
We're
the
like, we're not
Miami
getting
way.
back into this. We
Yeah.
got to go home. We dipped.
I keep it to Art Basel and Music Week. That's gonna be my two times a year I'm there. But like
Yeah.
you know, Miami's fun. You know.
Miami is a
That's how another
When you're in
ballgame.
Miami,
That's
you're in
another ballgame.
Miami.
That's
Yeah.
like,
Let's be
oh
for
wait,
real.
because the crazy thing is like if you know people in LA, then and if you're close to people in LA, all right, now you know people in Vegas, Miami,
Yeah.
Mexico, you know people all over the
course.
fucking country. Sorry, and then or you know people in different countries because everyone there is a damn promoter.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
we
Oh,
got
yeah.
calls daily. Hey, you have a thing in Mexico tomorrow. We're there.
There.
Hey, you
there.
got a thing in blah blah blah
There.
tomorrow. We're there. Like it was constant. We were on call constantly, and we were just like I wouldn't say call girls.
Yeah,
I
call
wouldn't
girls is
take
a
us there,
strong
right?
word.
My
Let's say
dad,
Let's
obviously.
clear that out of the way now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
no,
not
no,
call
no,
They're
no,
girls.
not
no.
call
Thing.
girls.
My dad obviously was like, "You're a call girl." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
No, I'm
I
just the girl they call to show
I'm
up.
the girl they
That's
call,
it.
but I'm not a call girl. But I mean, if anyone was like, "Hey, there's a party in Vegas tomorrow. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, what the
Yeah,
hell? We
there.
take jets there? Like, hell yeah, we're going." You know,
Literally.
like, why wouldn't you? If you're 19 in LA, 18, 19 in LA, why wouldn't you go? If somebody calls you and says it's
Yeah.
totally free to show up and look good, you going? You do it too for a check. Let me tell
Exactly,
you.
exactly.
Come
Even if
on.
you're not getting paid, like you're like, oh, I have nothing to do. I
Yeah.
really have no commitments. I'm
Yeah.
so young. Like I
Yes.
don't really care.
Like either
But-
get a job or go travel for free. The hell?
Now, if I could talk to myself back then, I'd be
Yeah.
like, girl, watch your
Girl.
back. Because here's the thing, like,
Nothing's free. Y'all.
in your head, you're thinking you're so young. You're like, oh my God, these people want me to come do this. They think I'm pretty. They think all
like
this.
me.
Oh, well, they think you're pretty for a reason, girl. Like, let's be for real. And so
No.
we go out there and
Well, in our defense,
know.
we were always known as the girls that got down. Like we were
Yeah.
the yes girls, and everyone could count on us in LA because if they texted us, we were there. And when we
Oh.
did show up, we were the most fun. We were the life of the party. We didn't give a crap about
We
what
twinned.
anyone thought.
Let's be for
We
real.
never gave a crap.
be
We
for
were
real.
not the girls in the club. Like,
So wait, you've changed? I thought that's why we invited him here.
oh,
Hold
sorry,
on.
my bad. No, you're
Hold
right.
up.
I mean,
we were not the
we
girls.
called. They said
Like-
yes.
No, we text. They wouldn't even call. We just texted.
Right. Well, no, like for example, like in the party bus,
Kidding.
you know, there's all these beautiful Insta
We're the
models,
text
right?
girls
And
now.
they, like in the party bus, you know, these beautiful Insta models, right? They'd sit there and they just like pretty girls, right? Me and her, like
We're up
doing
just
the
like,
robot
bang,
on the
bang,
stripper pole.
bang.
People like that energy, so people wanted us around. But the reason why we were like that is because we were freaking children.
Yeah,
We
we're from
didn't know.
San
We didn't
Diego. We
care.
didn't get the memo.
Yeah,
Like we didn't know
care.
we had to act
We're
like
party girls.
But
know?
also, you girls, one thing I would say, you're
We
lucky
weren't
to have
fake.
you're lucky to have each other because you were
Oh,
friends, right?
100%.
So girls going out there, they're doing that for attention to
Yeah.
develop a relationship
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
someone
we
else.
had each other through thick and thin. Like,
I'm so yeah.
that's
I
why
don't-
we got a soul tie trauma bond.
But I
almost,
don't think I
because-
could have done this without her. And like I'm gonna be so real. Like I definitely have seen a lot of vulnerable girls out there where
sad.
you know they're going out there. A promoter hit them up, found them on Instagram.
Yeah.
They're out there and they're like, oh my God, like well I have to act a certain way
Yeah.
to be around these
And
people.
we've taken a lot of them in too, because we
Yeah.
feel for them, and we're like, come party with us. We got you. We'll
yeah,
protect
like,
you.
You see that
We
vulnerable
were the girls of
Yeah.
LA. We were, and we were like, you know what? And the funny thing is, like, we'd always like twin in a way. So like, I'd wear like a
100%.
pink tight dress, she'd wear the same dress in purple.
Yeah.
And also the best part is we'd always have handcuffs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'd handcuff each other. So if you want me, you get her too.
Yeah, it was a
If
thing.
we're going anywhere, there's no debate. We handcuffed and we threw the key away. It was so funny. People ate that up. You know, people were like, they're fun. They're crazy. They're literally psychotic.
It was so
They
nice.
loved us
Like,
around.
knowing that you would have hit one of us up, the other one's coming.
Yeah.
It's like, and people started to know that, and I think it
Inevitable.
was like, it was almost like it was like a twin thing.
It was
like,
a sister bond.
weird.
It was like
Yeah.
if Morgan's going, Hannah's going. If Hannah's going,
Yeah.
Morgan's going. It
And
was
that-
that thing.
I mean, I wasn't there, but I assume that it
Oh,
probably
remember when you were there? Yeah.
Yeah,
you girls don't remember that. But it probably gave like a level of respect, knowing that
Oh.
it wasn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this girl.
100%.
Yeah.
I got
100%.
these two girls that are fun that have each other's back.
She's been roofied, and if I wasn't with her,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There had been times like where like things like that would go down, and it's like if you think about it, imagine like
Yeah.
you're a vulnerable girl out there by yourself, and you don't have someone like like I had Morgan. You know, people are gonna take advantage of you. It's just that's how it is, and it sucks, and it's horrible to even say that, but like
Yeah.
that's how it is.
It's social media girl eat social media girl. It is like I'm talking when they like introduce themselves. Ugh, I couldn't stand it. They'd be like, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah. Like, how many followers do you have?" And I'm like, "Get out of my face, bro."
Oh,
Hi.
oh, yeah.
Or the dudes, they'd be like,
if someone asked me that.
My name's
We went-
Jake, and I drive a fucking Bugatti. What do you drive? And I'm
we
like,
went
"Oh,
to we went to like a big like celebrity party in LA. Like a big celebrity party. Everyone was there. You know what I mean? Everyone was there. And here was the problem is as soon as you pulled up to the party, the first thing they asked was, okay, what's your name? And what's your Instagram? What's your social media? How many followers do you have?
Gives a shit.
Because
I'm
when
fun,
they go,
I'm fun.
yeah, when
We're
they
here
go to
party.
do like the checklist, they're asking everything, like social media wise, and you're like, okay, well, you know, this is me, and like I feel like I have to pull out my portfolio out of my back pocket. I'm like, oh my god, okay, here's my comp card, like here's my measurements, like here's everything you want.
Here's my portfolio of all my photo
Yeah,
shoots.
you need
like,
my
what?
yeah.
Like, can
Like,
I
let me-
please get in?
Yeah, let me show you the photos of me with all these people, so you
Yeah.
know who, like, you know.
Yeah, we're the
Who
real
here
deal,
have
I
you slept
promise.
with?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
What's your body count? Who have you slept
Yeah,
with?
yeah, right.
What's your social security number? Like,
Who do you know? Who's the biggest person you know? Like, shut that. Or
It's-
like, who's the biggest Instagram person with the most followers that follows you? And I'm like, who gives a? Shut up. You
So
know?
I'm gonna throw some love to San Diego, where,
Yeah.
by the way, our brand is from, and this nice trophy won first place overall edible at the Farmers Cup
Love
here.
us, Steve.
Hey.
But realistically, since I've lived here, I've lived in LA, I've lived in Vegas and San Francisco, and
Yeah.
grew up in Central Valley. Like everywhere else, the first question is, what do you do? Here, my experience is, what are you doing Saturday? Do you want to come to this festival with us? You know, I have all these. I don't know how long I've known you, and really didn't know what you did or anything. Really, you know, I still don't. But
I feel like
I just know you're an awesome person. I just know he's fucking. I just know he's
No.
incredible. I just know
Who
I
are
can,
you?
I know I can trust him, and you know what I mean. Like really, I've never developed so many like sincere friendships here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Agreed. I mean, I met her in SD, and everyone in my hometown, I was like, And then when I moved to
Yeah.
Newport, I moved to SD, and I met people that I was like, I kind of vibe with the SD vibe, because in reality, like, no matter what we've been through and how like flashy we try to be and like whatever, people that meet us always say, wait, you guys aren't fake. You guys are actually real. You guys actually have like a personality that we can vibe with. And I'm like,
You can
first of all,
tell, for
leave the
sure.
actually out of that freaking sentence, okay? What do you mean actually nice?
Yeah.
Like, and people are like, well, we just thought you'd be like rude or something. You know, we get that all the time, and it's like, we're really not. Like, we are nice girls, but we get it.
And
you know?
I will say,
We're
like,
sea girls.
coming from San Diego, like, this is San Diego, as much as it's like it's such a big county, everyone here is really wholesome. Like, when you can tell when someone is not from like LA, like you can tell when someone's from San Diego, because as much as like the whole thing, like California people are very uptight and all this, like it just depends where you're from. Like San Diego, everyone here, like exactly how you were saying, like, oh, what are you doing Saturday? Not like, oh, by the way, like, I'm a promoter and, like, we're all going out to, like, this club, like, be there, like, you know, like, all this
Yeah.
thing. Like, people are like,
Come hang
yo,
out with us.
yeah, like, yo, what are you doing Friday? Like, all my homies, whatever. Like, and
We're having a kickback.
especially
I'll
the
be there.
funniest thing is, like, when people are like, oh, well, can I bring, like, my guy friends? Here, people are like, yeah, hell yeah. LA, absolutely not.
Never,
Or,
never, ever.
well, what's their following? Who are they?
No,
What
if
are
you have
they
a boyfriend,
doing?
you're not invited.
Oh, yeah, no,
Like,
100%.
bro, what
Yeah,
the heck?
it's a whole thing.
But
They
if
don't
you
care
have a
about your
girlfriend, you
vibe.
could take her, right? You can. But the second I got some homies that like have been friends, I've been friends with for like 5+ years, and they're in town in LA. Hey, I have some like 2 boys I've been friends with for years. No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's all a it's a status.
See,
It's
but
a
I feel like
status.
how what it basically boils down to. I mean, for LA at least, I met like a good group of people there that are like, they got clout and
Yeah.
Yeah.
not dropping names, but like
They know what they're
Matthew Espinosa, and we'll say like
Yeah.
that group of friends,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just like but like I've met in certain people, that it's like good people know good people. Like anyone that I
100%.
met who's friends with Kev, we're immediately like best friends. And the
Yeah.
same goes for like any people that he meets of mine. Like
Yeah.
we're immediately friends. No one's
Yeah.
like cliquey. We already are like we have like a mutual respect where it's just like
Yeah.
he can bring guys at my parties and I'll bring guys to his parties. But it's not
Yeah.
even like
It's a level.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
It's
the
a
thing
level of
that I'm
passion,
putting down
you know?
right
Yeah.
now is in LA, no one
no, but I
respects
mean
the
there
women.
are. I think there
There
are
are eye
good
candy,
people
you're-
in
you're-
LA,
you're
but
attacked.
it's way more like
Yeah.
it's harder. It's more difficult.
Yeah.
You can kind of wean out the people.
You get good
Yeah.
at smelling it.
100%.
And I would say too, being someone that like we both host a lot of events and parties, and so
Yeah.
like in LA, where you're going to have a majority of more not trustworthy girls that are there to use, then it also kind of
Yeah.
puts like, okay, the guys they might bring, but you guys obviously
Yeah.
are probably have some cooler people around, but
Yeah.
Understandable. Absolutely.
but you know, and everything is a percentage game. Like
Yeah.
like here, there's still people that care about
like
all that
that.
stuff too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
overall, like I've had to come down here, and one of my main goals was to get this city behind our brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I've had to luckily meet people like Ian and all the people that are, you know, kind of doing creative stuff here. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
and they're cool. You know, I want to be friends with them. I look
For
forward
you.
to them.
We
You know.
haven't found
And no, but there's still, you know, say 2 out of 10 that aren't cool, you know,
Yeah,
that aren't
100%.
friendly, that aren't
Yeah.
respectful. But like
100%.
in other cities, there's still way cool people, but it's the opposite. It's 8 out of 10 are kind
Yeah,
of like shady. And
I
then 10
guess
out of 10.
I guess LA, you know, it's all about like, hey, we have a table, let's invite pretty girls, right?
Yeah.
So when they DM us or they text us or something, you know, and we're like, oh well, we have friends to talk to, we bring them. What do they look like? Are they boys? What's their status?
yeah.
How many followers do they have? Like it's like a thing. And I'm like, dude, they're just from my hometown. They got like 200 followers, but they're homies and they can party and they're fun. They're a good thing. But hey, it doesn't look good on the promoter. So they're like, no. And I don't respect that. That's not cool.
But
Don't you want good people around you? Good people is good people.
It's not even just guys though, in a sense. Like I've gotten invited on trips to like promoter trips, right?
Girls too.
And I've sent like, okay, for example, like I would DM my promoter and be like, hey, like, yeah, I'm interested in going. And he's like, oh, do you have any friends? And I'm like, yeah. And I send photos of my friends because that's what they ask for. They're like, okay, well, like, let's see pics. Let's see, like, IGs, like, everything. So I send it all. And I'm not even kidding. I think this one, like, particular time, my promoter was like, hey, like, send me your friends. I sent, like, 3 girls. He was like, do you have any other friends? Like, I don't know if they're gonna, like, if I'm gonna be able to take them.
I could touch on
Because it comes to, like, okay,
But remember the main key of what you brought up earlier is nothing's free.
Oh, no,
Nothing's
no,
free.
nothing
We'll
is
touch
free.
on that, Mama.
Nothing
Nothing's
is
free.
free.
on that.
And it's not even like the baseline of like, they don't know these girls, you know, whatever. Like they just see the pictures, whatever. But when you send them through, that's how you know right then and there. If they're saying like, no, it's not because like, oh no, like they can't come. It's because you know what they want and you know who they're sending these photos to, and it's the people that are paying for everything.
Yeah,
So it's
disgusting.
sad, but
We're
it's
all
true.
just checks. We're literally dollar signs. You're not an actual
Literally.
person coming to
It's-
their table or their party. You're a dollar sign. You're a thing for them to look good or the person to look good. You are literally eye candy. And at first, you know, we thought this is so cool, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then once we started realizing, wait, this is like, do we have self-respect? Like, this
Yeah.
is terrible. We're not here. We're not getting paid to be here. We're not, like, yeah, we're having fun, but we're not getting paid. We're literally
In
the
our
party
head,
clowns.
we're getting paid.
Like, my kid, when I have a kid one day, okay, and they're 2, and I'm going to hire a clown to come or a face painter to come paint the kids' faces. We are the freaking party clowns. Like, but we're not getting paid. Why? We're here to have fun and make sure, but we got invited I'm talking like, dude, like we had an empire in LA that was like, what did we do?
Yeah,
What
no,
What is
we
it
would go
about
home.
us that
Yeah.
we got invited to everything every 5 seconds? But then we figured out it's our energy, and we made sure all the girls had fun, the guys had fun. We made sure everybody was just drinking, having fun. It was like we should be freaking paid to be here.
100%.
But we mooched, and we were like, okay.
It's free, we're getting paid. Girl math.
Oh, I'm
Let's-
sorry. I'm
let's-
sorry.
let's
Party
go.
bus to the chain smokers party for free? Yeah, we'll be there. We're high school dropouts, girl. We'll be there. Like, come on. So it was just, oh God, dude, such a life. But then after a while, you know, you start to realize the disrespect and wait, we're not getting paid. What are we doing with our
Yeah.
lives? After a while, you start to realize, is it our world or are we living in someone else's world?
Yeah.
Are we a piece in someone else's world or are we living for us? And we started realizing, wait, we're kind of just characters in someone else's story. We're not making our own story. And that's when I was like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm out. Like,
Right. So it lasts so long when you're young. It's fun. You're
Yeah.
experiencing. You're having new experiences.
naive.
And then what happens?
Yeah, did you guys figure out how to monetize this, or what's the?
So pretty much what I did.
Yeah,
what
tell
I
your
did.
story. Come
So
on.
I got roped into some shit, boys. I I hate talking about it because it's so embarrassing. It's very against my morals from growing up. I have a great family. I was raised extremely well. Me and my family were so close. But I got roped in to the OnlyFans things because I started living with this person, this influencer who is extremely well known. And in order to live in that house, he takes 10%. Okay? And so I was like, first of all, if you're going to take 10% of what I'm making, you ain't touching my music money. You ain't touching my work money. You ain't touching none of my money. I'll do a hobby and you can have that. Okay? So the only thing we came up with, because all the people that came through that front door were porn stars, OnlyFans people I did not really respect. I didn't. I was like, shoot. That's the only thing, I guess. Now, the things that I did on this site, okay, let me just clarify here. We're very PG, okay? I did make a lot of money on it, but it was very PG. I never went overboard with it ever. Yes, it's leaked.
Yes,
but I never went
very much
overboard.
leaked.
They begged me to go overboard, and I did not appreciate that. But I stuck to my guns, and I was like, yo, I'm a Christian woman from a great family. Like, I ain't doing all this. Like, So I kept it real PG. But did I make money? Yes. Yes, you can have 10%. There you go, sweetie. Now that's something I do.
Which is pretty good, to be honest, because I mean, most of these
yeah.
OnlyFans companies are grabbing 50 to 60%.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we
Yeah.
milked it. We milked it real well. But these people know how to milk it because what do they deal with?
course.
OnlyFans girls daily.
Yeah.
True.
They're like, hey, we could promote you, you know, that stuff. So I definitely made some money off that just to give it to him so I could live there. And then I realized, why do I even want to live here?
Yeah, like, there's no
why am I
point.
here? I'm going home.
Yeah.
Mom, can I come home, please? Can you unlock
and
the door?
That was the thing is when she had gone on a trip, she was gone, and I was sitting in our apartment, you know, off Sunset, you know, and to most people they're like, oh my God, oh poor you, like you were sitting at the apartment on Sunset. I was sitting there and I remember it was Thanksgiving and I was sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, she's not even here. Like, we don't have cars out there. We got rid of our cars before we even came out there. Like,
I lost my car.
because we're like,
there.
you know, in LA, like you Uber everywhere or someone calls you a car, like that's just how it is. You don't really drive. So I'm sitting there and
I drove a lot. I don't know.
no,
Sorry.
but, well, you're
I got so many
okay,
parking
tickets.
I'm
Like,
so
jail.
sorry, sexist over here.
Got rid of my
Whoa! I enjoy driving
Yeah,
my
no.
car. I know.
I was sitting there in the apartment and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, yes, like, there's jobs and everything out there, which is dope, but this was right when COVID hit. So COVID was, like, about to be in its prime. And I'm like, I just can't, like, my friend's not here. Like, all the people in LA, like, I don't really go hang out with them unless I'm with Morgan because it's, like, that's my, like, support system. And I remember... Yeah, I remember calling my mom and I was like, hey, like...
Just holding your handcuffs alone.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there, there's a handcuff dangling and I'm like, where's my girl, bro?
Where's the key?
Yeah, where's the...
How did she get out of this?
No, but I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm sitting here and, like, there's nothing for me to really, like, do. And I think I started to realize everything. And I called her and I was like, yo, like, I'm going home. Like, I called my mom. My mom came, picked me up. I moved everything out of, like, the apartment that was mine. And I went home. And after that, like, there's been people, like, all the time. They're like, you messed up, like, you should have stayed in LA, like, you would have been so big and blown up.
By now.
Yeah, like, you would have blown up, like, imagine your life now. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, no, that's dope, but also, like, we did that. And it's like, you know, like, everyone down here, like, especially in San Diego, like, people are like, oh, these, like, parties and everything, and I'm like, we did that at 18 years old.
Yeah,
like, we did all the party scene at 18.
Y'all have fun, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, like, we did, like, don't get me wrong, like, you'll catch me, you'll look at my Instagram, I'm at a club, but, like, we did that whole lifestyle when I was 18, 19, I think 21, I was already home.
No, people are always like, why are you trying to slow down? You're so young. I'm like, bro,
like, we did
bro,
it
we've
all.
been doing this.
I'm like, everything you've
harder
done
than
now.
you are at 25.
Yeah, people are like, oh my God, I did this for the first time. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, good for you.
If you lived in LA and did that scene, it was like, it was a movie, and I get it.
Yes,
Like,
it was
I
amazing.
was living at the W, and like, you know, it was just,
Yeah.
it was wild. It was a
it's
movie.
because
You
if
know?
you think about it, like the things we were invited to, like these celebrity album releases and stuff, who the hell are we? Who are we?
Yeah,
What have
why-
we done to deserve to be here? Absolutely jack nothing. We're high school dropouts who just dude, we just run the streets and we're fun, and we got invited everywhere, and we were like, why are we here?
It was to the point where like we would go to like the door of a party or whatever, like an event, and like you'd make it through the door, and I'd look at her and I'm like, oh my god, we just made it through the door, because you're
Like,
like having
Kylie
a
Jenner's
realization,
right
like why am I allowed here? Like
are we
let's
here?
yeah, why am I here?
Are we?
So what advice like would you give someone or those girls that are
girl.
going through this
All
right
right.
now?
So before we get into that, all right. Let me tell you a little something. So from being in labels, okay, I know a lot of people, all these girls want to be singers and I want to be signed with a label and all this fun stuff. Girl, first of all, TikTok is taking over everything. Labels are going out of business. TikTok's the main thing. But TikTok will die down one day, just like Vine. Just one other thing. Labels are not necessary. Obviously, if you get, a $5 million check, I don't blame you for signing it, okay? All right, I'm going to go say that. I ain't going to judge you. But labels suck, and men are going to take over your confidence. Don't let it happen. Seriously, don't let it happen. I swear to you, they're going to try you. They're going to tell you, oh, I'll give you so much money. I'll buy your apartment. I'll buy you a car, all this stuff. If you blah, blah, blah. I've been there at least 20 times, and every single time I've said no. And no matter what, even though I don't drive that car I wanted, I don't have that apartment I wanted, I have the morals, and I have the respect, and I don't feel guilty, and I go to bed at night and I sleep great because I know what I stood for. I freaking stood on that business. I stood for what I stand for, and I am proud of that. I know in that moment you feel, oh, well, I really want this stuff. And if I do this one thing, if I sleep with this person, if I do blah, blah, blah with this one person, then I could have what I've been dreaming of. It's not worth it. If you're driving around a car or you're living in a home that you did not work for, you will not feel good about yourself in the long run. You will not feel good when you wake up in that apartment. You won't. So stick to your guns. If you move to LA, okay, you're going to think you're cool. You're going to think, oh, wow, I'm here, LA. Oh my God, it's Kylie Jenner. That's this person. That's Tory Lanez. What? He's in jail. There's this. You're going to think you're cool. It's going to go to your head. Don't let it go to your head, okay? Nothing's free, okay? You go to these after parties with G-Eazy, with The Game, like all these people like us. There's things that you owe. There's things you owe. You're not there to have fun. You are not there because they like you. They don't know you. They don't care about you. You could be dead on the floor. They're going to walk over your body in the club. They don't care. You are there for their benefit. Eye candy. You're not getting paid to be there. You have to have your guns. You have to have your heart. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get lost in the sauce, okay? I know it's cool for now, but in the long run, when you have kids one day, what are you going to say? What are you going to say,
No, yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta think future-wise. You can't think right
You
now.
might tell that kid, I don't talk to your daddy anymore.
Yeah, no,
Met him at a party though.
Who's my dad? Oh, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he's long gone. Come on. You gotta think. You gotta have your guns. You gotta stay freaking tough. And let me tell you, the tough ones are the ones that make it out like us. The weak ones are the ones that stick around and get drowned into that LA stuff.
No, exactly. And
It's sad.
I think, especially, I don't know, I came from just the time in my life when I went out there, I think I was really, really, really lost. And even going out there and you start to be around people, and I grew up not knowing any of this was going to happen. No one expects any of this to happen. And when I went out there, I was not mentally prepared for any of it, And the advice that I could give to a girl going out there, I mean, when I came home, like, a lot of people were like, oh my God, like, that's so cool, like, you're doing all this. Like, I would have people, like, message me and, like, saying, like, oh, that's so cool.
And we love that. Like, oh my God, people are looking at us,
like, I wish I could do all that. And I'm like, no,
eat it
it's
up.
cool, but you have to realize, like, we didn't just wake up one morning and all this stuff happened. Like, we've been through the nitty-gritty of it all. Like, we've done, like, things that...
We were broke as hell.
Yeah, like, no, exactly. Like, that's the thing in LA. It's like, to all these girls, you see all these Instagram models and everything, and you're like, oh my God, they're making so much money. They're doing all this. Like, they're an independent girly. Like, girl, you don't know who's in their messages. You don't know what they're doing at night. You don't know
And
what
do they really have money?
Yeah, like, no, seriously, like, if you looked at our Instagrams, like, especially they're like, oh my God, these girls, like, are doing everything. Like, they must have money. Like, No, we were living in an apartment that was paid by our promoter because our promoter paid for us to live there because he knew we were going to show up 6 nights a week at that club.
We were in
or
Ferraris we never bought.
Yeah. No, like they knew that we were going to attend whatever they told us because they were paying for our apartment. We lived there because of these people, and those people have bosses. It's a food chain. Like, and girls don't realize that. They're like, "Oh my God, they're living the dream. Like they're doing this all by themselves."
Crazy
No,
facade.
we're
It's a
not.
mask. Everyone out there has a
Yeah,
mask.
like,
And I just
you
want
Smoke
to
and mirrors.
I want to be here to
Yeah,
unveil
it's-
that. Unveil it.
So like
Literally.
you were in the music industry, right? And that's obviously what it is.
Yeah.
And
Oh God. Yeah.
modeling industry,
Model,
right?
yeah.
So do you want to touch a little bit on, because I know how they kind of recruit the talent,
Yeah.
which is kind of what people think, oh, you're taking a headshot for modeling, and that kind of
Oh,
goes
yeah,
to straight up a madam, right? Most of the time,
So
right?
what's funny about the whole situation in a sense is I started modeling down here, right? I went to agencies down here, and there's, I went to multiple places, and keep in mind, I was always underweight as a kid. I'd always been really skinny. I went to an agency, and they told me I was overweight. I was skin and bones, and they told me I was overweight. So I was like, okay, I know that if I am going to pursue this agency, I'm gonna have to drop 10 pounds, and I'm literally skin and bones, and I'm trying to tell my mom that. She's like, no, I don't support, like, I don't think that's a good idea and everything. And I'm like, well, I really want to do this, so I decided to do it independently. I was freelance my entire time modeling, like, and that's the one thing that I'm very proud of, and I can always look back is like I did everything like just being me and not having to abide by someone else's rules. And like that was the thing that I still, like, true to my heart is like I tell girls all the time, they're like, oh, what agency do I go to? And I'm like, I didn't sign with an agency. I was freelance. Like, I did this all by myself. Like, and then when Morgan and I met, like, we were a power duo. We did this all by ourselves.
I got more photo shoots with me and her than just solo.
Yeah, and like that was the thing. It's like, you can do it by yourself, but you move to LA, right? Here's the thing. You move to LA and you say, people come up to you, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I model. Oh, cool. Like, and usually that's where it comes into the madam thing. Like, usually these are girls asking it, and it gets a little weird because, like, they start asking too many questions to the point where, like, you can have a conversation with someone. We're all having a conversation right now. But let's say, for example, like, you guys are guys. Let's say it's a lot harder because, like, the sexist thing comes into play. But let's say a guy comes up to you, right? And he's talking to you, and he's like, oh, what do you do for a living? And you're like, oh, I do this. Well, he starts asking, like, a lot of questions, like, to the point where you're like, okay, like, why are you asking so many questions about this one thing? And you're getting into the nitty-gritty about it.
So like what kind of questions?
Like,
Well,
okay.
Can we just give examples of what we went through with madams?
Like,
That's
yeah,
one way to explain it.
no, but like questions in a sense, like
Yeah.
a girl comes up to you, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, let's say at an after party,
But
okay?
they're so nice.
And yeah, they come up
So
to you. They're trying to be a
pretty.
girl's girl. Like they
Girl's
come up to you.
girl.
Oh my God! Like, what's your name? How are you doing? But there's a difference between like a girl, like a cool girl who's just trying to actually get to know you, and a madam. The presence that they give you is very weird, and you'll notice they are very cliquey with the people that end up wanting to hire the
Pushy.
madam.
It's pushy. It's like, you're so pretty. So pretty.
Yeah.
Do you want to come to our table and get some drinks? Come on. No, seriously, you're so pretty. Come on. No, it's okay. No, just come on. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's not a normal
they do not let you
interaction
like
with the girl.
decline it. Like they will pull you back to the table. It's worse than
No
like
choice.
it's worse than a creepy guy coming up to you at a club. Like
worse.
they do not give up because they're getting paid to be there. It's a check in a bag,
Yeah.
and that's where
Well,
the
let me
dollar sign
explain
comes
what a
in.
madam is.
Oh, go for it.
So what a madam is, on top of what she's saying, a madam is a woman, okay? A nasty little woman who I would never respect in my life. Now
Yeah,
that
they're
I
not
know
always
who you
little.
are.
Let's be for real. They're not always little.
Oh, they big. Okay. So these girls, these women, I don't respect this. I would never be a girl to do this to
Yeah,
another
no.
girl. Is they get paid by celebrities or social media faces, right, to go to clubs and venture out into the club, find pretty girls who look vulnerable. They say, you're so pretty, you're so this, what do you do for work? What do you do, blah, blah, blah. Get to know you. Say, come back to our table, you have free drinks. You go to the table, you get messed up with these celebrities, you go back to the after party, they do their thing with you because you're so messed up. they get a check for it. Those are madams. Those are the pimps of the celebrities.
They're
the
literally
women
pimps.
who are
They're
the
women
girls,
pimps.
girls to lure other girls into these men's tables. We didn't know that at first, because this is another thing. If you're going to move to LA, watch out for the madams.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, and you wouldn't even know they're madams because they're just girls like us.
Yeah.
But that money, they'll do anything out there. They'll do anything for money. So we had no idea at first. We had no idea. And we got suckered. We're victims of the madams. We are.
Yeah,
We have to admit
100%.
it. We went to an after party one time with this one rapper. And while we're there, we had brought all of our friends, right? They say, yeah, their friends can come. They try to act super cool, very nonchalant. They're on your side. They're on your team, right? So me and her go to the bathroom. When we come out, they had kicked everyone out.
Oh, and
but
keep
me
in
and her.
mind, when we went to the bathroom as well, like, we had gone, we asked them, obviously, like, where's the restroom? There's a security in the hallway of this person's house, and they're, like, kind of weirded out about us going to the restroom, and, like, we're like, we just have to go to the bathroom.
I
We
just gotta
were
pee,
not,
bro.
we were not in there for long. Like, I'm talking, like, like, girls go to the bathroom together, they're like, whatever, and then they take pictures, whatever, like, they're doing a girl's thing, And, by the time we came out, like, I'll let you proceed, but it was weird.
So like 2 hours later. so
Yeah,
like-
not even later.
Okay, 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes.
3 TikTok videos later.
Like, why is everyone gone?
Yeah.
TikTok wasn't even a
Sun's
thing.
coming up.
So we
few
come out.
Instagram
We come out,
photos.
and I swear, all of our friends and all the people who weren't our friends were kicked out, but me and her. And we knew in that moment. We look around, and it's just bouncers, the rappers, and just a bunch of dudes, and the 2 madams. The madam girls.
Of course.
And I was like,
Yeah.
you
Red
little
flag.
snakes. I knew. I did.
Missed you.
Dude, I was not okay. I was like, oh, I'm going to jail tonight. So I say that a lot too.
Yeah.
But so I like walk out and I'm like, I don't like this vibe at all. So
Yeah.
the guys sit on the couch like,
And it's
that
like
thing.
big guys.
Big.
We're small girls. We're like 18.
No,
like,
these are like big like bouncers, rappers.
yeah.
Like we're tiny
Yeah.
compared to them. Okay, so I'm like,
Are you guys in the hills or are you at?
Oh, we
were.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I
where
don't-
was that one?
I was really drunk.
Yeah, somewhere in the hills.
We were.
obviously.
It was the area we were at.
It was very nice.
Very
This house was
expensive.
incredible, so it had to be the hills.
Yeah.
But I'm talking when we went out and I saw this, I was like, my gut was like, run. So
yeah,
we start
you're like,
going. We
something
go
feels
straight to
weird.
the door, right? And like I said, these madams that you gotta watch out for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They block the door. Where are you going? Where are you going? No, come on, let's party.
Yeah.
Come on, no, we're having so much fun. I'm like, no, you better move out of the way, or else I'm about to get aggressive here. And
Yeah.
I finally pry the door open. I'm holding this girl down. I'm like, Hannah, run.
She's like pushing me through the door, and that's
I'm
like
Hannah,
yeah.
you book it. I'll handle myself here.
She had Morgan by the arm, and I'm like running. I'm like, Morgan, come on,
No, I
let's
don't
go.
care. I was ready to tussle. I was like, I know what's going on here. I don't
Yeah.
like this vibe. I feel vibes really well. I'm about to go to jail tonight because you're out.
Yeah.
So she books it, right? So eventually I get through the door, and so as we're running towards the gate, we realize they had shut the gates on us to lock us into their home.
Yeah.
So we look behind us, and the bouncers, the rapper, and the madams are on the porch watching us struggle. That is how creepy these people are. Okay.
Like they sit there and they're like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna get out. We start running down the fence line.
So you know what we did? We got the hell out of there. You know what we did? We broke their fence. Oh, pay for that later. How dare you? We had to literally get out of situations that were so like life or death. It's not funny, and it puts you through a whirlwind of emotions where like we got out of there just like
It's
you can't
scary,
breathe.
yeah.
Your heart's racing. You're like, dude, if we were stuck in there, what would have happened to us?
Yeah.
Luckily, we've gone out every time, but these things happen nightly sometimes, and you don't even realize you're in it until it happens. You have to watch your back.
And luckily, like, we weren't that drunk either. It's like, imagine girls being like absolutely intoxicated, and that happens to them.
Roofied
And
all the time.
and we had been through like tiny things like that prior. This was like the first big thing that really happened, and it's like a girl that's so vulnerable going out there, and they come out and something like that happens. Like, what are you supposed to do? In a sense, like, at least like we were kind of knowledgeable on it to the point where it's like, okay, we kind of know what's going on. But a girl that's vulnerable, she's like, oh my
We're
God, they
alone.
really want me to stay. Like, I'm special. Like, I'm the only one left.
Yeah.
Like, they think I'm important. Like,
I do
girl.
anything for this rapper, you
Yeah.
know? Thank God we have each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I was alone in LA, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's one thing why I brought that up too. Like I would recommend for girls that move to LA from Kentucky by themselves, like, you know, find good friends, you know,
Yeah, of
Find the
course.
people, dude,
and weed them
find the
out.
people.
Because
Yes.
you may think, like, also, like, we've met girls, like, you may think, like, oh, they're going to have my back. You don't know.
You
Like,
don't.
and it's not even
I've
just
been
LA.
screwed
Like,
over.
Yeah.
anywhere. Like, this happens everywhere.
hard to find
Major
good people in the
cities.
world.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to get into, like, you know, it doesn't even matter, like, the modeling industry or, like, the, you know, she's an artist. Like, it doesn't matter about that. It's, like, you just going out to a major city in a bar, like, or clubs, like, that type of environment. There's going to be people that offer you, like, a table and stuff like that. Like, just be careful.
Watch
Keep
your
your
back.
eye out. Like,
Watch your drinks.
yeah, watch your drinks.
Watch your drinks, Hannah.
If anyone
Watch
says
your
watch your
drinks.
drinks, like, watch your drinks.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's so easy, and they're good at it, you know? I mean, I found this nail polish that you put on, and if you dip your finger into it, if it's roofied, it'll change color. That holy
it's
grail,
so funny.
y'all.
I
Holy
came
grail.
back from LA and I told my mom, like, my mom knew about, like, me being roofied and everything. I told my mom it was funny for Christmas one year. She got me, like, those little condom covers for your drink because she was like, isn't that funny? And I was like, oh my God, it's so funny.
So funny.
Wow, it's so
How
funny.
convenient
She was
you
like,
do
make sure you have those in your purse. I was like, thank you.
Right, honestly.
Appreciate it.
I mean, I honestly, just like all jokes aside, like the things that you go through out there is like
It's
not a
crazy.
joke.
Yeah.
We laugh about it because we're strong, tough little girls.
Yeah,
And whenever we have trauma, we laugh about it because that's how we cope through things.
Yeah.
But other girls, they would cry what we went through. There's no way other girls could get through it. Like the things we saw in Mexico because of LA is absolutely insane. And whenever I tell people in Georgia, these girls who just work at Starbucks, okay, and have never been in a big city in their lives, they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm great. And they're like,
Literally,
how?
I'm doing so good.
Like,
wow.
there's a reason we left LA, and it just got so toxic. Once you
Yeah.
get deep into it and deeper and deeper and deeper, you realize this city is scary.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you don't have your people with you and a good family or a backbone, oh my God, they're going to eat you.
So like the music business, do you want to touch on how some of that went? Because that's similar but different.
No,
but,
please,
you know,
can I freaking speak? I have not spoke on this once, and I want to speak. I want to speak on this. Got it?
Speak away.
When
So
I tell
bluntly.
you, I'll just touch on like, oh God, dude, the disrespect. I mean, okay, so I first got signed as a songwriter, okay? So I had a publishing deal first before I was an artist. And the things I'd write about pride, dignity, like things for women, my managers would be like, what the hell you know about pride and dignity? Like, you, like, take your clothes off, shh, like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 17. I'm a child. So it started like that, and I'd just be like, Mommy, what does this mean? And my mom's like, what the hell? Why would they talk to you like that? Right, so it started like that, right? Just basically kind of just disrespect, right? Then it got to the business side of things, right? So now I start working for this label, and I'm working for them, and I start writing for them, under them, you know, for their clients, their people, you know, Snoop Dogg, all these people. Now they're starting to take my clients away from me behind my back and telling my clients that I'm unavailable or I'm this and that. Start taking my money from me. They start shelving me. And I started realizing, what are you even doing for me? My attorneys got involved. I dogged them. I got out of there free. I cut contract. Gotta go, ho. Sorry. That was crazy. But anywho, so then after that, once I was unsigned, right? I'm a freelance girl. I'm independent. So all these labels, they want to get a hold of me. Oh, hey, so I heard you're not with so-and-so anymore, right? So I start working. I start going to meetings and stuff. You know, I start working with certain sponsors. You know, I get super acquainted. They'd have all these promises. Oh, we're going to do this for you, this for you, this for you. Never came through, not once. In fact, they were so rude. They would sexualize me. They put me in outfits. They want to change my name. They want me to look a certain way that's not me at all. And I understand that's how the music industry goes, but I made it clear from the start, I'm not playing that game. This is who I am. If you don't like it, then go away. So then I go to this one meeting specifically, okay? And I'm just going to say it, Interscope, because, hey, y'all, I got to say it. Interscope Records. I meet with this one guy. He told me exactly kind of what I said earlier. And, I trust this guy. He was a manager of my best friend at the time, another friend of mine. And I trusted him, and he said, "Oh, so yeah, we have like this tour opportunity for you, it's like a mini opener tour, whatever, all this stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm down." He's like, "I need you to write for this person, all this stuff." And I was like, "Sure, I'll just send you stuff, whatever." He's like, "All right, and in return, I could support your apartment, your car, your this, your that, payment, all this stuff, all this glory, right?" And I was like, sick. He's like, "All right, let's go to the studio." No, he doesn't take me to the studio, y'all. He takes me to this place in his apartment complex and tells me that these these producers are there. I walk in, there's no one in there, and it's a dark-ass room. Now, this guy, what he did to me was unacceptable. I mean, I'm trying to get out of the door, like, with him exposed. And he's telling me, like, if you tell people this stuff, and then blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "I'm going to destroy you, kid. You're so done. I'm not scared of you." And I had to deal with that for a long time, and that scared me from the industry. I stopped doing music for a little bit because I was just, like, shaking. I felt violated. I felt disgusted. I just felt terrible. I felt like people don't actually care about my music. Am I even good? Like, every time someone says, "Hey, your music's good, let's meet up," they want to just have sex with me. And I just lost all faith in myself, in the industry, and my music, and I just lost myself completely. Now I'm getting back into it because I'm like, screw that. I bought my own equipment, I have it in my closet. I'm like, I'm going to do it myself. And ever since I've been doing it myself has been so much better than when I was with anybody else. Yeah. And I just did not let that actually, like, destroy me. But anybody else, that would destroy a person, like, constantly. And, that's not the first time that's happened. I worked with another rapper in Tennessee, and he grabbed me by the neck and said, "If you're working with me, you sleep in my bed." And I was like, "Then I ain't working with you, and I'm out." And it was absolutely terrifying. And this guy's big. And I was like, I will always keep my morals and who I am. And I know a lot of people are like, "Well, why didn't you?" Like, what? You get the money, you get the bag. No, screw the bag. I'm not getting money that I feel, it's dirty money. Bye. Like, oh my God, ew. And by the way, I take my passion seriously. I love music. Music is my outlet. If you're gonna absolutely trash on it, and you're gonna step on my music and say, "Yeah, your music's fine, but I just want to have sex with you," I don't respect you. You don't respect my music. We have nothing in common. I'm out of here. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. So I totally lost the music vision for a long time. I was very hurt. I was scared. I was so scared of just talking to anybody and pursuing anything, because I was like, people don't respect me. And even though I respect myself, it's just so scary being in such a vulnerable position when these guys have money and the fame and the contacts and the labels and stuff. Like, you're nothing to them.
It's sad because that discourages so many young girls.
It does.
Like,
I'm not the only one.
You're so, like, it's girls that have, like, talent. Like, Morgan has amazing talent, but it's, like, a blessing and a curse that she's so beautiful. So it's, like, girls like that go into the industry and they're like, "Okay, well, I have all this talent, but, you can't put a bag over the girl's head when she walks in and sings in front of the mic. Like, she has a beautiful voice, but also she's a beautiful girl. So what are they going to see first, her voice or, like, what
I
she
think
looks
that's
like?"
the hardest thing. It's
You know?
probably I noticed that at least it's easier for girls that aren't attractive to get in the music scene that actually have talent than it is for girls who are beautiful or pretty and have a good voice. It's crazy. Like, you either get one or the other, but if you got both, it's really hard to get into the scene. Like,
and it's the easiest way for a guy to get in your pants.
Yeah,
I mean, say,
it's
"Hey,
just like,
I like your stuff."
I like
I'm like, "No,
music,
you
but-"
don't. No, you don't. Don't even try me right now. So that steered me away from the music industry. It's a harsh life. So now I'm independent and I'm happy about it. You're never alone if you're independent. If you have your family, your friends, people will support you. If you do the right promotions, you got it. You don't always need the money and the fame.
And I'd like to point out that technology has made things so much easier for independent artists. You can get Ableton in your room and you can record. Like, bet on yourself. Like, take time to learn how to be your own producer. Learn how to play the piano, then you can do every single instrument. Then you don't have to go to a studio and get in debt. That's what the music business is. That's this whole matrix is. The whole schooling system to college and
Absolutely.
it's being debt slaves to a bank, and that's what a record label's been. It's been a bank.
And
right?
let me touch on that is the reason why I know
Excuse me.
the reason why I know how to produce and mix and master and record myself is because when I was with that label, no one did anything for me, but I had a key to the studio. So you know what I did? I'd be in the studio till 4 a.m. teaching myself because I knew I wanted this no matter who was on my team. I wanted to do this. I wanted to know. I wanted to be knowledgeable with this stuff. And I started making all my own albums, all my own singles. In fact, I'd bring my own manager and be like, listen to this. I made this. And he's like, you made that? Like from scratch? I'm like, yeah, without you, without your help, without your engineers, I did this. Do you need me or do I need you? What's going on here? And they started being like, that's when they started taking my clients away. They're like, Morgan's getting strong
she
here.
knows what she's doing.
Morgan knows what she wants and what she's doing, and she's scaring us because they would just wanted to shelf me. And I was like, you ain't going to shelf me. I know what I want, and I'm going to do it. So you just got to keep your backbone. If you know you want something, you don't need anybody else to do that. If you have the courage and the power and the strength and you want to know how to do something and you know you want to, then do it. Nothing is going to stop you but yourself. And that's exactly what I did, and that's why I'm here now. So that's my only advice for the music industry is have yourself and you'll never lose. Very good. Okay.
No, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We've
sad,
both been
but
in the music
beautiful.
industry for a long time and seen so many ugly things.
Yeah.
And there's, I'm really, really stoked that people have the opportunity to do things on their own, So if you're a young artist out there, look into building a team of solid people. People ask, what do I need from a manager or anything? You just need someone that you could trust,
And good luck with that, too.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, too, is find someone that actually enjoys what you do.
I feel like what I found in a lot going on, which is pretty funny, but a lot of big artists in the scene right now are actually either cutting their artists or their managers, or just they don't have one right now, but they'll have a full-blown fake email address for their managers, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the way to do it. I'll fill in for several people. I TM for several artists, and it's they'll have a fake manager just running full time. They're on tour I don't know, 2 to 3 shows somewhere around the U.S. A week, let's say. But it's they have a full-blown fake manager because they don't trust anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Managers are just taking over. They don't, so many are being clipped right now. And it's just they just don't get anything done. They're not doing anything, and they take your percentage and just for what, right?
That was my problem. I
But
was
I
like,
keep-
why are you taking my stuff? You do nothing for me.
It was so funny when we moved to LA. She was like, "Will you be my assistant?" And
Right.
I was like, "Yeah." We would go to meetings. She would have meetings and introduce me as this is my assistant. She deals with
It's like,
everything.
you're not
And
signing me unless she's on the payroll.
because that's how it, no,
That's
that's
my
how
girl.
it was. It literally, we would go places and it's obviously we're together and obviously everything's gonna go through her regardless. So it was there was a major company that we worked with and she was like, "You're coming with me." And I was like, "Okay, period." And I showed up and she's like, "This is my assistant. She's coming with me. She's dealing with the stuff." And it came to the point where it's I had a whole binder. She bought me a binder. She goes, "This is
Play
the
the part,
binder."
of
Yeah, she's
course,
like,
of
"This is the
course.
binder." I
She
showed
actually
with
became it.
my sparkly pink binder to these meetings. And I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm HANNALEI HERNANDEZ."
Like, you have a photo shoot tomorrow, and then you have this meeting this day, and I'm like,
But it's we lived together. That was my best friend. We were so bonded to the point where it's she trusted me. And it's I'm never gonna do her wrong. I know she would never do me wrong. She's been there through things that's us as, young teens shouldn't have to go through. And it's just
and if I'm going out, she going out.
that's
We're family.
how it is. That's how
It's
it
me and
is.
her against everything. That's how it was.
So what else would you say to a young artist out there? If you say you had a daughter or, anyone out there that's doing it, what advice would you want to give them?
Okay, well, first off, if I have a daughter, you're not going to LA. I'm going to
If I have a
bubble
daughter,
wrap
I'm
you
not
in,
having
in
a
a
daughter.
basement. Let's just pray you don't have a daughter. If there's 2 Morgans running around, we're all screwed. But no, if my one advice, if you want to go to LA, is honestly and seriously, just seriously watch your back. Don't trust them, even if they say, "We have you, trust us, we got you," all this stuff. Okay, that's what happened to us in Mexico. We trusted this guy. Was he there? Was he there when we were in Mexico? No, he left us with the cartel. Don't trust these people. We knew him for a year.
Yeah.
Stick to yourself. If you're out there for an agenda and a reason, whether it's music, modeling, or something, focus on that. Don't get caught up in the sauce of the clubbing, the nightlife, the promoters, the money, the fame, the photos, the paparazzi. Don't let it get to you.
It's like, don't give up your morals. Like,
Don't.
when you go out there, like, as long as like you keep true to yourself, I think you'll be fine. But it's when you start acting like someone you're not. Like, once you start, like, going into places and you're like, okay, well, I guess I can do that. Like, and I guess I'm making an exception for this. And then it's like, okay, you made an exception one too many times, and then it becomes a routine. And now you're going out, and you can be like, oh, well, I only did that a certain amount of times. Well, no, now that's who you are.
Yeah.
And now everyone
Now they
knows
count on
that's
you.
how you are.
And now they count on you. If you go out, if you're cool and fun one night, all right, the next night they're inviting you.
Oh,
You go out
yeah.
a second night, all right, the third night they're inviting you. You get wrapped.
But
You get
because of
wrapped
that's
so
who you made,
easy.
you made yourself to be. Like, you
Yes.
showed everyone
You're
that's who I
available.
am.
You're available.
And now they know that.
And
it's
we
sad, but it's
at
true.
first made ourselves extremely available, too available,
Yeah.
to where we got caught in the sauce. Okay,
Yeah.
we were very
We
deep in the sauce.
had-
My dad would call me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't even know."
I'm just a
I
home eating
forgot about
woman.
music.
Doing
I
anything.
lost sight of the reason why I was going to LA. Lost it. I lost sight of what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be, and who I
Yeah.
was, because of people will make it so like, oh, well, you're hanging out with, this YouTuber and this celebrity, and oh, you're dating that
It gets
YouTuber
in your
that's
head.
sick. You
It
get in
gets
that
in your head,
headspace.
for sure.
Don't let it get to you, because one day they're going to get old and ugly, and they're not going to be some anymore. Think about yourself. Think about
Yeah.
you and what you want to be. Do you want to be in someone else's story? You want to write your own? That's my
Exactly.
advice. I don't want to be in anyone else's story. I was
True.
for a long time. And now I'm writing my own story. I've never been happier. I've never been more successful.
That's beautiful. We've seen this a million times,
Yeah.
and it's. I'm really happy that we're sharing this so that people can hear that. I've seen it a million times being in LA, and you meet someone. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm from Maryland, and this is what I want to do. And that's the beautiful thing about LA, right?
Yeah.
There's so many negative things that people focus on, but the beautiful thing is people are coming there with a dream.
Oh, yeah.
People are going out there to chase something and make a difference. And the industry, with money and power, it just it makes people abuse it. And I love what you're saying about that, because I want people to stay true to that, because
Absolutely.
I've been out in LA, meet someone from Maryland, see her 8 months later, you know what I mean? And then see her a year later, and you just see, oh, well, I went out, and then I guess I have to be cool, I have to act this way, I have to say I know him, and I guess that's the guy that everybody knows, so hi, and then that guy's not a good person. Like,
Social
you don't
magnets.
need to be with people that aren't good people, you know?
Yes.
And if you respect yourself, the real bosses are gonna respect you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, those other crappy people are just gonna, if you, you respect yourself, well, you're not a hoe, I'm not gonna deal with you,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
And you don't wanna be with those people, you
don't.
know?
Yeah. And I think that's why we have the respect now to this day, is people are like, well, they left, yet, when they come back, they only hang out with select few, and it's the good ones. And we don't really F with people no more. Like, we don't anymore. In fact, I don't tolerate anything anymore, because I learned so much in LA that I'm like, you know what? I see through that. I don't care about your car. I don't care how many followers you have. If you have too many followers, I ain't gonna date you anymore.
Yeah.
I'm over it, because you learn that. It's not cool anymore once you realize the actual truth behind that stuff. You're nothing to these people, because it's all about how you make them look. How much money could you make them? How could they benefit off you? You got to think about yourself. How could you benefit yourself? What can you make for yourself? And I had to learn that the hard way. And the only thing I could tell other people, younger girls who strive to be in LA, is like, just think about what you want to do. Don't live in anyone else's freaking story. It's not about them. It's your life. Don't live in someone else's life or their plot. Make your own. So that's
And one thing I would say is, like, me and my group of friends are always constantly working on our mind, body, and spirit, right? So if what you're doing isn't improving your mind, isn't improving your body, not improving your spirit, then there's something wrong,
Oh, yeah.
you know? So keeping that in mind, I think, is a very important thing.
Absolutely.
Remember to smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, smile.
Yeah. Even through the BS, smile. Just
Right.
keep it up. Keep it up.
Is there anything else you girls want to touch on before we cut things?
I
Or
guess the only thing is just, like the
I
things we
just-
went through was absolutely
yeah.
unacceptable, and I don't want anyone else to go through that. I want to
No,
wish it
yeah.
on my worst enemy.
I think that, especially, like, we have to look at it as, like, perspective of our age as well. Like, now, I mean, I'm 23, she's 23. Like, back then, I think now the maturity level in my like head is a lot different than back then. And I really do wish that I could like counsel myself back then, because there's a lot of things that I think I was struggling with personally, and like, you know, she was as well. And you know, all we really had was ourselves. Like, what are we going to tell our parents every 5 seconds? Like, oh, hey, by the way, like, this just happened. Like, they're going to be like, come home.
Yeah, we don't tell anyone anything. It was me and her.
And the only advice you have is the other people going through it out there, but everyone's so stuck in it. They're not going to give you the best advice. It's people that's made it out that are going to be like, this is what you need to look out for. This is what's going to happen.
So
like,
we just
everything.
held this trauma.
Yeah.
on
Like,
It's for the
us.
plot. What do you
No,
mean?
that's
It's
for
like-
the
Right.
plot.
And see, that's what we used to say.
It's
until
for the
the plot starts
for
to
your
thicken,
book,
y'all.
when
Come on.
Netflix hits me up and wants
Yeah.
to make a show,
Yeah.
I'm going to have so much
Yeah.
for them.
Start
You
writing
know?
it all
Once that
down
plot
now.
thickens to the point of like, I can't walk anymore, I gotta crawl.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go
100%.
home, y'all. I gotta go home. Like,
Yeah.
once I went home too, my family was like, what were you doing out there? And there was this one day, like 2 years later, I kept it a secret for so long because I didn't want to hurt them. And I remember I told my mom in my bedroom, and she cried. And she was just like, I had no idea what you were doing, what you were going through. You didn't talk to us because you lose sight of everything, including your family. You're so focused on yourself, you don't care. You don't care. It's about what you look like, what you doing, where are you going, you know? And my mom was crying. She actually cried tears, and she was just like, wow, like, I feel terrible that I wasn't there as a mom, but it's not her fault. I didn't tell her anything. We kept everything a secret because we knew if anybody knew, they would either throw us in rehab or call the cops or whatever, because there was just so much going on, you know? And we couldn't even keep up ourselves. We would just wake up and look at each other like, we have to do this again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, wake up, mimosas, brunch, Uber Black, straight to this show, this thing, party, dinner, promoter dinner before the club, and then the next day, oh, and you're not allowed to go home till 4 a.m. because you get the after party after the club, right? For French Montana, all these people. Then after that, you go home. What do you have? 4 hours of sleep? Brunch again. Back in the Ubers, back in this. We didn't sleep. We lost 10 pounds each. We were so tiny. We were miserable. We weren't happy because I lost sight of everything I wanted to be in LA for. And we weren't happy. And in fact, I can't name one person out there that I know that is happy. So, I mean, once I started being like, you know what, I'm gonna live for me, and I love my music, and I want to actually work and do things that I love to do, now I'm happy. It's just, LA is just this big ball of how cool am I?
Yeah.
And you can't get lost in that. You can't.
So now that this is all played out and the way it is, what's in the future? What's the plan? What's next?
So 2024, I have some album coming out. Stay tuned. Morgan Justice, JUSTUS on all platforms.
Awesome.
I'm coming out with like a new album that I created in my closet on my own.
There you
On my
go.
own, independent, okay? So please show some love. I don't have the support of a label anymore. But I'm happy about that. And that's about it. Just making
yeah.
money and staying true to my family and just sticking around Georgia. So yeah, what about you?
I think honestly, like, I mean, I went to school to be an esthetician. I think I kind of want to stick with that. Like, I mean, I went to school, put in the time for it and everything. But I'm going to go to medical school this year. I think that's my goal. And I want to get my RN, and I want to be an injector. And I mean, I love the whole modeling industry. It's dope. And I mean, every time I have an opportunity to do it, I do it. But I knew, like, you have to be realistic here. Unless you're like Bella Hadid, like, nothing really is going to really come out of that. And I want to make a career for myself, and I think I'm ready to finally let myself do that. And I mean, I'm 23. Yeah, I'm still young, but that's kind of where I'm headed. And wherever that takes me, I'm going to accept it because I'm happy finally in my life, and I'm secure, and like I feel good.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm headed, and I'm okay with that this time.
And can I just say I'm so proud she went back to school.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
I did not,
High
but
school
let's just clap
dropout,
for
it's
her. She actually found her niche, and I'm so proud of us. I
Yeah.
really am for what we went through, and
And
now
we did
both of
that.
us found what we love to do, and
We got out.
we got out. We're out the hood, y'all. We're out the so proud.
Yeah, we did it, and you know,
We came a long way, y'all.
that's that.
Well, good job. Like I like you girls a lot. You know, I didn't know you, and it's I've met a lot of girls in the scene, and I respect what you guys have gone through and you wanting to share and help people
Yeah.
because it's important. And I hope you reach a lot of people with this, and I'm excited to share this on our platform and get it out to as many people as possible so that they can you know, they can see that there's hope and not get caught, not get lost in the sauce, you know?
And thank you guys. Like,
Yeah.
I really appreciate for giving us that platform to like speak on that. Like,
Absolutely.
that was dope.
The
Yeah,
opportunity is amazing. Thank you.
And we're in the middle of working on, excuse me, our first Smile Co festival. So we're going to be doing a music festival.
Hell yeah.
So hopefully, you know,
We'll
we
be
get you.
there.
We're heavily involved in it, and
Let me check my work schedule.
we do. We do. We have a big live art competition coming up, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. And then, you know, we're mostly in San Diego right now. We've only been out for a year, but we did win the Farmers Cup down here, which is like 400 different judges that used cannabis from April on 420 to 520. So it's the people's choice, you know. So we're pretty proud of that, and so we're about to start getting into LA with the dispensaries, and then I've already talked to. I don't know if you guys know who Adam Glove is, or Affinity Night, but he's a good dude. Affinity Nightlife is what he does. So I went up there and had a meeting. So we'll be doing a lot of events in like Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, and you know, get up in the LA scene and be around. You know, hopefully some very good people. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
not so much of those bad people. Hopefully, you know what I mean.
Yeah, good people only.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, thank you guys very much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
thanks
so
for having
much.
Thanks for
us.
being on.
We'll be in touch. So
Absolutely.
all of their links will be at the bottom, and make sure to support her music.
You
And
know, support my dreams.
yeah,
And just
Support my
us.
dreams. Yeah.
Right.
We need all the support, y'all.
support all the good people's dreams. Don't forget to smile. Thank you guys very much.